How did the player once hailed as the next LeBron go from being the face of the WNBA to a lifetime suspension?
First WNBA player in history to ever record 3 consecutive 20-plus rebounds per game.
Her rise and sudden fall have left fans in shock. But what exactly led to this dramatic shift? Imagine this. Just a few months ago, Angel Reese was on top of the world.
She is also leading the WNBA in average rebounds per game with 12.9. I'm sure you guys have seen all of the
She had just made history, becoming the first WNBA player to snag 3 consecutive 20-plus rebound games. Leading the league with an impressive 12.9 rebounds per game, Reese was stacking double-doubles like clockwork. Every game she played was another chance for fans to witness her dominance on the boards.
Doubles that Angel has recorded, and a lot of the times, even when she has these double-double games, she has more rebounds.
However, while her rebounding stats were headline-grabbing, her shooting struggled to meet expectations. For someone often touted as a superstar in the making, missing multiple attempts close to the basket didn't align with the hype.
And I'm going to be who I am, wherever I am. And going to LSU, being from Baltimore, then coming to Chicago.
Reese's persona off the court was as bold as her presence on it. She embraced her identity unapologetically, Baltimore-born, flashy, and always sporting her unique style with long nails, bold lashes, and eye-catching hairstyles.
So everybody gravitates me because they just love my personality. They love lashes, nails, hair, and on the court, I'm very...
Fans adored her confidence, but her brash attitude also invited scrutiny. This same confidence that had won over so many seemed to morph into a source of controversy as Reese's journey began to take unexpected twists. After her NCAA championship victory, the media had painted Angel as the LeBron of women's basketball.
It's worth it. Beyonce said beauty is pain. It might hurt the pockets a little bit, but I'm gonna pay for it. I'm gonna pay for it.
It's an investment.
It is an investment.
An icon poised to dominate the WNBA for years to come. But everything changed with the arrival of Clark, who turned the league upside down with her historic rookie performances. Clark's style was electric, her skills unparalleled, and she became the sensation the league had hoped Angel would be.
Cheryl Swoops recorded the first WNBA triple-double during the 1999 season, while Clark logged the most recent triple-double earlier this week. Clark became the first ever rookie in WNBA history.
The spotlight that once belonged to Reese quickly shifted to Clark, whose triple-doubles and long-range shooting were captivating audiences and advertisers alike. Angel, once the WNBA's centerpiece, found herself relegated to a supporting role in the media narrative. The friction between Reese and Clark was more than just a rivalry.
In the same season. In that game, Clark scored her 103-point shot this season, becoming just the 6th woman to do so and first in her.
It was a clash of expectations. While Clark was breaking records, Reese was grabbing rebounds, often from her own missed shots. Her field goal percentage within 5 feet of the basket hovered below 45%, the lowest in the league, prompting critics to claim she was stat padding by repeatedly missing close-range shots to pad her rebound numbers.
So with all this extra spotlight on Angel Reese, of course, there's been so much criticism around her game, and a lot of people are saying that the only reason that she's getting all
For
of these...
fans, seeing Reese miss layups only to chase down her own rebounds began to feel less like dominance and more like desperation. It wasn't just her gameplay that kept her in the headlines. Reese had embraced a more celebrity-driven lifestyle, starting her own podcast and inviting guests from pop culture rather than focusing solely on basketball.
Is because she misses so many shots right around the basket. I just saw a graph today that shows the shooting percentage of players within 5 feet of the...
Fans who were initially drawn to her skills on the court now saw her prioritizing drama over the game. Bringing in guests linked to controversies rather than basketball discussions, Reese's podcast began to resemble a gossip show more than a sports talk platform.
This graph is by Steph No, and he said Angel Reese is shooting 43.8% on shots within 5 feet of the basket. That's by far the worst percentage in the WNBA.
Some fans appreciated her for being a multidimensional personality, but others saw it as her neglecting the sport. To make matters worse, Reese had a habit of playing the victim on social media whenever her gameplay or personal choices were criticized.
I'm sure that you guys have also seen the videos where Angel puts up a first shot, misses it, grabs the rebound, puts it up again. It kind of feels volleyball.
Whenever her performance or commitment was questioned, she seemed to double down on being misunderstood, claiming the world was too critical of her every move. Instead of focusing on self-improvement or addressing gaps in her gameplay, She leaned into this narrative, which further divided her fan base.
How she's kind of throwing the ball up and getting her own rebound. A lot of people are saying that she is stat padding, or she's clearly...
For some, she was a bold personality standing up to her critics. For others, she was creating her own obstacles and refusing accountability.
Just not talented around the rim, saying that she should not be missing this many shots this close to the basket, obviously being the post player.
On top of everything else, there were whispers that Reese had used performance-enhancing drugs, a rumor that, if true, would certainly spell the end of her WNBA career.
The fact that there's a lot of fans and people in the media who latch onto one player, and a lot of the times it is Caitlin Clark or Angel Reese, they latch onto one.
It was ironic. For someone who had spent so much time building her brand as a hardworking, no-nonsense player, to have rumors of shortcuts swirling around was the ultimate twist of fate.
And then immediately, because they love that one player, they have to hate the other. And we see that on both sides with both of these women. They are both young women.
The idea that she might have compromised her integrity to stay relevant only to face a lifetime suspension seemed like a tragic irony. And then there was the social media element. Reese's online persona, once endearing, took a turn toward the antagonistic, as her career struggled to meet expectations. Every time her game faced criticism, her posts would flood with defenses of her style and statements about how she didn't need anyone's approval.
In their early 20s, in their first season in the WNBA, with a bigger spotlight on them than we have ever had in the history of the WNBA.
While many saw her as a fierce competitor, unbothered by public opinion, her approach began to alienate fans and fuel the narrative that she was more focused on image than improvement.
And I have never seen NBA players not offered a little bit of grace during their rookie season. And so I feel like for both of these women and today's
This stance, coupled with her rocky performance, painted a picture of a player unwilling to evolve her game to meet the demands of professional play.
It was about Angel, so I'm going to talk about her. I think that there is some grace that us fans, media, everyone needs to give her if her game at this moment in time.
Reese's on-court stats continued to fluctuate, and her shooting accuracy did not show the growth fans had anticipated.
Rebounding side, aside from a couple games where it seemed clear that her and her coach, when she was going for those back-to-back double-doubles, it seemed like they were leaving her in.
She became known more for rebounding her own missed shots than finishing at the rim. This pattern of behavior, combined with her off-court antics, started to look less like the journey of an evolving player and more like someone losing their way in the league.
Longer time so that she could stat pad and reach that double-double. Aside from those couple games, I think in general, Angel Reese is not stat padding.
Her rebound stats, once a source of pride, began to serve as a harsh reminder of missed opportunities and unfulfilled potential. Then there was the podcast. Rather than dedicating time to refining her skills or focusing on her game, Reese spent time hosting episodes that were more about generating clicks than promoting women's basketball.
I think that she is an elite rebounder, and I think that rebounding is a skill. Rebounding is about wanting the ball more than anyone else.
Instead of collaborating with other players or WNBA figures, her guests were often personalities unrelated to the sport, including exes of pop culture icons.
I'm going to be who I am, wherever I am. And going to LSU, being from Baltimore, then coming to Chicago, everybody gravitates to me because they just love my person.
What could have been a platform to empower women's basketball felt more like a detour into reality TV. As her presence on the court diminished, Reese's off-court controversies only intensified.
Personality, they love lashes, nails, hair, and on the court, I'm very competitive. I'm super competitive when it comes between the lines. I work really hard. When off the court, we can have a good time, have fun. I'm into fashion.
Fans questioned whether her heart was still in the game. The rumors of performance-enhancing drug use only added fuel to the fire. Fans who once viewed her as a genuine, hard-working player were left to wonder if they'd been misled.
Love fashion, love dressing up, taking pictures. So a lot of people never had a space where they felt like they could be comfortable in that. I'm also 6'3", so I attach to a lot of women that are taller that may not have a lot of confidence with them.
In the cutthroat world of professional sports, there's little room for error, and even less for perceived dishonesty. But here's the thing. Reese's story doesn't have to end here. She has the raw talent, athleticism, and presence to turn things around if she's willing to put in the work. Caitlin Clark's success may have overshadowed her, but it doesn't diminish her potential.
It's worth it. Like, I mean, Beyonce said beauty is paid. It might hurt the pockets a little bit, but I'm gonna pay for it. I'm gonna pay for it.
It's an investment.
It is an investment, yeah. If you want to look good.
The question is, Can Angel Reese find her way back to the fundamentals and prove herself to the fans who once saw her as the future of women's basketball? Is there a way for her to shift from being a headline for the wrong reasons to a respected player who lives up to her potential? Only time will tell if Reese can overcome the controversies and prove that her skills on the court are as compelling as her personality off it.